Hey everyone, welcome back to the Blitz. Okay, we just saw the state quarterfinal for Refugio and Shiner. Well, the big schools, they're still a month away from that. They haven't even kicked off the playoffs yet. Of course, you remember back in, August or so, the UIL said, big schools, you got to start a month later due to COVID-19. So they still had to finish the regular season tonight. Flower Bluff, one of those teams in action. They were taking on Victoria West. Now, the winner of this game would be the number 2 seed in the district, the loser, the number 3 seed. So both of these teams were playoff bound. Now here, the opening kick. Raiden Campbell, you're going to hear his name several times in this highlight. Here, getting the feed and a nice gain. Getting it to about the West 40. Nice setting of the pace for the Hornets tonight. Then here, Campbell again. This time, the first down. He was cooking tonight. Then later in the drive, it's Isaac Miles. These two, a great dynamic duo for Coach Chris Steinbrook, and Miles punching it in for the score. That made it 7-0. Hornets on the home turf. West trying to come back here, but Blake Buzzell is going to lose this ball. That was close, but they call it a fumble. Said the ball was out before his arm came forward, so that is Hornets football. Big turnover early, and Flower Bluff taking advantage. Nash Villegas to Judah Lewis. First down inside the 5. The Hornets would score on the next play. Isaac Miles make it 14-0. So now Victoria trying to come back here. They're actually going to hold on to the ball this time. Buzzell hitting Chase Patek for the first. Warriors in business. And now Buzzell with the keeper, this time on the option, up the middle, and he's in for the score. That made it 14-7. Now Flower Bluff answering back with a field goal here. Kyler Meshi going to put it through the uprights. Put the Hornets up 17-7 at that point. But again, West not going away here in the second. Patek in for the score. That made it 17-14. Now, we saw a big turnover for Victoria West, but here it's the Hornets with the fumbling issue. Villegas and Miles going to knock it out on the exchange, and that ball gets poked around. That's Warriors football. West in business at that point. They, too, would take advantage. Like Bluff, they get a field goal, so we are tied 17-all with 2 minutes to go in the half, and you think we've got a ball game, right? Flower Bluff says not so fast. It's not halftime yet. Here, Campbell getting in. Made it 24-17. So again, still one-score game before the half, right? Okay, well, Josh Guajardo is going to do his part to change that because Buzzell going up top and Guajardo with the pick. Thank you very much. The West receiver fell down. So the Hornets in business deep inside West territory. That would be a huge turnover, and Flower Bluff taking advantage. Coach Chris Steinbrook, he prides his defense on capitalizing on mistakes, and they do here. Villegas hitting Michael Mendiola for the score. So remember, it was 17-all. Well, now it's 31-17 Flower Bluff at the half. They go on to get the win. Final 59-32. So they will be the 2 seed out of the district. We will tell you who they will face here coming up shortly. Okay, we had another situation, I guess, to sort out. Not really, but Veterans Memorial was already the 1 seed. They were just looking for the outright district championship Thursday against Ray. And here on the opening kick, Veterans Memorial's Nana Amamensa. He's got my favorite name in the viewing area. I say it every week. And he is gone, cutting through the Texans like a hot knife through butter to the house. Talk about setting the pace. That made it 6-0 Eagles. Ray trying to get something going here early. Michael Almeida on the ground, but the big hit by Vets' Jabez Hudson. We saw big turnover that he got last week against West. Then Veterans still going here. Carter's center fit going to hit Jalen Beasley over the middle for the score. Great grab by Beasley. There, that made it 13-0. And this all still in the first few minutes of the game. Coach Semper's team was relentless early last night. Here, center fit hitting Amamensa for the first down. This just kept on rolling last night. Number 7 Veterans, they're well on their way to a probably a long playoff run. Be pretty surprised if they didn't here. Noe Garza with the score. That made it 20-0, and we were just in the first 5 minutes of the game at Buck Stadium, and it only went up from there. This time center fit on the ground. He's healthy this season and looking to lead Vets again back to a deep playoff run. They too went to the state quarters last year. That made it 27-0 Eagles, and then some of the backups starting to see some action to get ready for the playoffs. Jonathan Gonzalez here, a big pickup. Gonzalez getting it inside the 15, and then that sets up the touchdown up the middle, made it 34-0. All Eagles in this one. Final 62-0. So they are the outright district champions, and they finish with a perfect regular season, 9-0. So what does that mean for the standings? Let's take a look. Veterans Memorial, number 1. Flower Bluff, number 2. That was courtesy of Vets' win over Flower Bluff a few weeks ago. Victoria West, we saw them tonight, fall to Flower Bluff. They will be the 3 seed. And Victoria East, they wrapped up the 4 spot a couple weeks ago. They are in there at number 4. And as far as playoff matchups next week, we know at least one. Veterans Memorial will host McAllen Rowe out of the Valley. That one will be Friday, next Friday, 7:30 at Buck Stadium. Now, we also know Flower Bluff's opponent, Brownsville Pace. They won tonight. They beat Mac High down in the Valley. So still waiting on a time for this one and a date. But again, Flower Bluff will be hosting Hornet Stadium next week. Brownsville Pace in the first round. So again, we've seen the small schools now for a month in the playoffs, so it'll be good to see both Flower Bluff and Veterans Memorial in the playoffs. Again, both extremely capable of making a long playoff run. You remember the team that beat both of them last year in the playoffs, San Antonio Wagner, they bumped up to Class 6A. So who knows, the door could be open for a potential Vets Flower Bluff showdown down the line. But again, that would be about a month away. So still a lot to look forward to. Now, if you just can't wait for the rest of the show, you can head online to our website, KIIITV.com. We've got scores posted there. We've got highlights posted there later on tonight. We've been updating you on Facebook and Twitter all night long. You can go give us a like on Facebook at 3Sports-Blitz. Give us a follow on Twitter at KIII3Sports. We've been updating all night long. And coming up after the break, we're going to talk with the Miller Buccaneers. You wonder, why no Miller highlights yet? Well, they don't play till tomorrow. So we are going to have a long preview, though. Going to talk with sophomore running back Ethan Greenwood and head coach Justin Evans after the break.